Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about what I feel is the world's best straightener. And that is the L'Oreal Steampod. This is not a sponsored video. These are just my own personal thoughts. I'm doing this video because this is a really unique straightener. It uses steam and heat, and that's just an innovation, I think, in the hair industry. And in addition, it's really a straightener that not many people know about. Even though it's a professional straightener, it works phenomenally well. It works different than other straighteners. For some reason, people don't know about it. My friends don't know about it. Online, it's not that much of a buzz. So I just wanted to spread the word, get more people aware of it, because I think it's just that good. I've taken some notes of what I want to cover off and just share with you guys, because I think there's a lot here. Just for reference, this is the third video and the final video I'm gonna do on the Steampod. The first one I did was on how to straighten your hair and how I get literally pin straight hair. The second video is on how I curl my hair, these curls to be specific, and just how that goes. So I'm gonna link both those videos in the description box below. Again, this is the final video, but I just love this tool so much, and I just wanna really share that with you guys and kind of spread the knowledge. So I'm gonna talk to you about my overall thoughts, what the pros are, what the cons are. I'm gonna walk through how it works. And then finally, I'm gonna tell you about some of the tips that I've discovered over time so that if you get this straightener, you can like hit the ground running and just do the best job that you can do with straightening your hair and curling your hair. So here you go, let's get into it. First, I'm gonna talk about some of the pros. The number one pro, I think, is actually just in the quality of what it does. So combining that heat and the steam, it just makes your hair pin straight. It makes it feel so smooth, so healthy, and it just kind of gives really amazing looking hair. Obviously, if you're looking for a hairstyling tool, you're looking for it to work well. So check. The next thing, which I think is really important, because again, this is a hot styling tool. This tool does not damage your hair nearly as much as other straighteners or curling wands or curling irons out there. For some reason, the steam almost infuses the hair with moisture while at the same time straightening or curling. And so what you basically get as a result is just really healthy, soft hair. What I will say though, is that initially when I was using this, probably for the first 3 weeks, my hair actually felt a little bit drier. Why? Because I think the split ends kind of spread apart a little bit more compared to not using a normal straightener, but compared to doing my heatless curls, which uses no damage and just super locking in moisture continuously. It is not as dry as if I had used a normal heat tool to do the curls or to straighten my hair, because that would lead to much drier hair than what this was showing me. Either way, what I noticed was that over time, after doing this for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, it just stays smooth and healthy and not dry at all. From the day I do my hair on day 1 to the day I wash it, day 5, 6, 7, it just looks amazing. It's smooth, it's healthy, it feels wonderful. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, so here I've put more straight and better curls. So what that means is my hair actually goes the straightest with this straightener than it has with any other straightener I have ever tried. So better curls, by that what I mean is looser curls. So for me, the kind of wave that this gives me is just really sophisticated, really soft. It complements my features, and that's really what I mean. This to me is goals. And by the way, a normal straightener does not give me that. A curling one kind of gives me that, but not really. This is just something else entirely. And lastly, I kind of cover this, but like softer hair is such a perk. I find after I do my hair with this straightener, I continuously want to run my hands through it. It stays soft for days until I wash it. It just, the flexibility it also has, like, just so nice, just so flowy, just so beautiful, so soft, so luscious. And as soft as it looks is as soft as it feels. So it's just really amazing, A+. So on to some of the cons, because of course in life, nothing is ever 100% perfect. So the first con is the size. So I should have actually done this earlier on, but here we go. This is the Steampod. It has a connecting wire that transports the water and steam to the end straightener. This compartment has water in it already, and then you plug this into the wall. And basically this, compared to, you know, a Chi, is smaller than just this with no extra compartment. So when you travel, if you're traveling with just a hand carry, this gets kind of bulky to take with you. And I travel quite a bit, and so I do find that a little bit annoying, but I love it enough that I bring it with me still because it's amazing. The other thing is this piece is plastic, this piece that holds the water in, and I am ever so paranoid when I travel with this, that this is gonna get smushed for some reason. Like if I have to check it in my luggage, that this is gonna get smushed and it's gonna break, and then I'm gonna have to buy a whole new unit. It hasn't happened to me yet, and like fingers crossed, knock on wood, say a prayer. It's actually just not going to ever happen, but that is my main concern and con with this straightener right here. Another one I know is just price. It's $3.25 Canadian. That is almost $100 more expensive than a Chi. A Chi you can get on sale. This is like $325 or right around there. And I live in Canada. I looked in the US, it's about the same price. And even in Europe, I know you can get it. You can get it with European voltage, etc. In fact, I think it was launched there first. And it's still expensive. I don't have the exact price, but it's still quite expensive. And finally, the last con is just that it doesn't really operate the exact same as a normal straightener if that's what you're used to using. It might for straightening your hair. In fact, for straightening your hair, yeah, it does. You might have a few incidents, you know, of like kind of burning yourself with the hot steam here and there a little bit initially when you're trying. But what I can say is you get used to it really quickly if you're using it every day, every week, and it shouldn't really be a problem. I think for straightening your hair, it is pretty easy. Like as long as you're looking in a mirror and you're paying attention to where your hands are, you're not really gonna burn yourself. You definitely do need to get used to the fact that the steam, and again, I'm gonna cover this and how it works, but the steam basically comes out of one side. You need to keep the straightener going down in one direction. So you can't, so if the steam's coming down this side, you can't flip it and have it going down this way. That's just the way that it works. And so that's another factor that you just need to get used to. But once you get used to that, you're fine. With curling your hair, it's a little bit trickier. This is a little heavy. So there's a special way, and I cover it in my curling your hair with this tool video, link in the description box. And basically it's a little bit heavy, so you need to really, you know, change the way you would normally curl your hair with a straightener to work this puppy. But even though it's a con, and it is, truthfully, it did take me a little bit to feel super comfortable with it. What I can tell you now is I've been using this for about a year, and it's like knowledge in the back. Like it's just there. I just know how it works. It's super easy to me now, and it's just amazing. It's worth the learning curve for sure. So the next thing is how it actually works. So I should have covered this first, but I wanted to get into like my overall thoughts. But basically how it works, you have this here again. You pop out this top compartment. Whoop. So here you can always see like it pops back in. Click. Or you pull it back out. And basically you fill this top compartment piece. You open the lid and you fill it with water in here. And they say, I think room temperature water is what you put in it. It's also supposed to be distilled water. So distilled water comes in like a jug, basically. I've used non-distilled water before, and I've used distilled water. And what I can say is if you use non-distilled water, it basically just leads to buildup in kind of like debris from the elements in the water, and it will impact over time the performance of the unit overall. So it is better to use distilled water. However, if you're in a pinch, like you're traveling, you don't have distilled water, it's probably fine to use tap water, and I have before, and my unit's still working like 10 out of 10, still love it. So basically you fill it up. There's a little max line, it's pretty high. Don't know if you can see that, but if you can't, that's okay. Basically you fill it up, don't go over the max line. Then, as I showed, you just pop it back in, you hear a click, and then here there's suction cups actually on the bottom. There's 3 of them. And you basically Can I show you this without tilting the camera down? No, I cannot. But I'm just gonna display and just trust me that this is how it works. Basically, you just stick it down onto the counter and it doesn't move. So basically, as you're using this and you're pulling on it and it's twisting and you're pulling on it, this still isn't gonna move from the counter, so that's really great. If it does start moving, that means that there's just some dust or debris on these suction cups. You just need some water, wipe it off, dry it off, make sure there's no lint, make sure there's no dust, and then stick it back on the counter. It's gonna work perfectly. Initially, I didn't know that. I was very confused as to like why my container was like moving around. I think I was traveling somewhere, it was covered in lint from me packing it with my clothes. It took me a little bit to figure out that I just needed to like wash off the suction cups. Anyway, so once you put it down, you click it into place. It's not moving like mine is. Look, I'll pull it off. You'll hear the suction cups. Do you hear that? That's how strong this is. Anyway, so you stick it back down to the counter. You take this and basically there's an on-off button right here at the base. So you're gonna press that. It lets you pick, I hope you can see this. Let's see, maybe I can zoom in here. I hope you can see that. On-off button right here. If you want to adjust the temperature, it is currently on the highest temperature, beeping up here. If you want to adjust it down, you just click down, because there's an up button and a down button, and there I just moved it to the second highest. But in general, I keep it either on the highest or second highest. That's simply because, you know, I want it to do the most damage. Just kidding. I wanted to straighten my hair, curl my hair the best. I've noticed there's very little difference between the second highest and the top highest in heat. I think the top is 410, and then going down, the next is 390, below that's 350, and below that's 330. So probably if you have really fine hair and you just want to kind of straighten it, then you're probably going to be fine to be on a lower temperature. But for me, I have frizzy hair, I have thick hair, so you're actually going to want to have it on one of the higher settings. And even with that, it's not really damaging my hair. So now you can hear, I hope you can hear that. It's kind of making this like noise. Sorry for that imitation of that sound. But basically that just indicates that the steam's now flowing. Sometimes if I just had this on actually because I just filmed the curling of my hair video, so this is actually still kind of warm, which means the steam's gonna come through it and heat up really, really fast compared to if you're just turning this on from cold. You can speed it up by just clamping it together, and then the steam will come. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can, but you basically start to see steam. And then if you have frizzy hair, you just wanna make sure that, okay, pause. If you don't have super frizzy thick hair, you can just go about your business straightening. You don't really need to wait for the steam to come, just straighten. I'm not gonna show you this right here because if you wanna see it, you're gonna check out my other video. If you wanna curl, you're just gonna go curling. Just gonna curl it down, just gonna curl it. See, it's second nature. I can do it without hair even in between it. But if you have frizzy, thick hair, you're definitely going to want to clamp it together. Wait for the steam to start coming, and then quickly just start going down. Because the steam basically is part of what makes it do the best job it possibly could with straightening or curling. So by waiting until steam is spewing out already before you start, it means that the whole section of your hair is gonna be hit by steam and heat at the same time, as opposed to potentially, if you're not waiting for that, it might start here that steam's coming out. So if you have short hair, it might be the whole run through of your head. So that's just a tip that I learned with my sister actually while we were doing it together, and that really helped her. So wanted to share that with you. A few other features, just a bit more about how it works. So steam coming out of one side here, you can see the holes. There's arrows on this side and on this side. My straightener's dirty with products, sorry about that. But it's basically showing you that steam side needs to be down. If you want to see an actual tutorial, again, watch the video on me doing it, but just to verbally explain to you how it works. Steam side always down when you're straightening or curling. And because if you go the other way, it's just not gonna work very well. Actually, you're just gonna see like it's just not really straightening well, it's just not really curling. If it goes the right way, it's gonna look so good. Last thing about this is the comb. So So I'm actually just gonna turn it off. Same button as you hit to turn on, you hit to turn off, because I just don't wanna burn myself here. Smart, right? So I'm just waiting for the last bit of steam to come out. And there's a comb right here, and it actually pops out. See? It pops out just like this. That's what it looks like. And you can pop it back in. It only slides in and out in one direction, so you'll get to know that. What I can say is I've tried curling my hair and straightening my hair with the comb in and with the comb out, and with the comb in, it does infinitely better job. So I don't know why anyone would ever take the comb out. The comb basically like separates the hair in perfect separation so that all the hair is hit with steam and heat. So that's really amazing. So I also want to just let you know that with regards to the water, you're going to want to change the water every single day. If you don't change it every day, the steam actually starts smelling kind of funky. It won't make your hair smell funky, but it does make the room you're in kind of smell not very great. And so it's just better to change it out every day. When you do that, there's no problem at all. Again, that was actually my sister who said, by the way, did you know if you actually just change out your water every day, you won't have that problem? And I did that and she was right. See, she's smart. And finally, my last tip is, so I keep mentioning in all my videos, like this will last 7 days, this will last 5 days. You might need to fix it up here and there, which really shouldn't be a problem. But what I want to tell you is that you should sleep, if you want it to last a long time, just sleep with your hair in the top of your head. So basically I just take, do I have it around me? 1 second, I'll search for it. Aha! So I just take one of these like Invisibubble thingies. This might be Invisibubble or it might be a ripoff one that I got from a Chinese store at a Chinese mall. But either way, I just take these. So the benefit of this is it doesn't leave a mark in your hair. So recommend this over a normal elastic. And I basically just tie this into a high ponytail. I also just tie it in a ponytail when I'm at home and I get annoyed of it in my face because my hair is long and annoying. And I basically just tie it at the top of my head. And then when I lay down in bed, I just lay this on top of my head so I don't roll on it. And that is how I basically get my hair to last a full week. I will also say that when I straighten my hair, it stays straight for a full 7 days, just with a little bit of touch-ups in between. When I curl my hair, it does fall out of this, so I just did this, and it will fall out a little bit into more of a loose wave. Still beautiful, still love it, so highly recommend. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Hope you learned something new about the Steampod. I'm gonna have details on anything I mentioned down below in the description box. I'm gonna have the links to my straightening hair and curling hair tutorials, which you're gonna wanna watch if you're thinking about buying this. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have this straightener, if you like it, if you learned something new. Subscribe to me on the social networks, please. And we'll chat again soon. Until next time, bye.